On this episode of Cuesta Dos, my brother David and I talk a little bit about the Jets' win in the NFL, NBA, and their current issues with China, Clayton Kershaw and him not being a great pitcher, Simone Biles becoming the greatest gymnast of all time, Eliud Kipchoge breaking the 2-hour mark in the marathon, and we bring back some Antonio Brown talk, wanting to come back after retiring. So, without any further ado, enjoy the show. What's going on, sports fans? Welcome to Cuesta Dos. I'm Alex, and my brother David is back with me. What's going on, Dave?
What's up? We're both sorry for missing last week.
Yeah, we just found it that 2 weeks ago, it was a real slow sports week for us, at least, and we didn't have much to talk about.
Yeah.
So we just kind of skipped out.
And I wasn't feeling well either, so we just said, screw it.
Yeah, so, and before we get going, we have a packed show, as we always do. And I have a few PSAs to throw out there. So, again, apologize for missing last week's show. We'll try to do that very infrequently. But the playbook was here with Rob and Joe, so that was nice. There was still some podcasting going through the airwaves. I wasn't able to get my normal show out because there was an issue with the recording. So, hoping that gets all fixed up as well and it can run pretty smooth and we can get back going the way we were.
Yeah.
And also, I will be going on vacation end of this week. I'm traveling down to South Carolina with the family. David, you can't go because you have work.
Yep.
At least one of us has to work, but you can't go. But good news for all the podcast fans is David will be doing this show, Cuesta Dos. I think you're doing it. Did you want to do it solo or are you doing Cuesta Uno?
It'll be a Cuesta Uno next week.
So
I'm going to have a fun time with it.
So he's going to do Cuesta Uno, and then I believe he's bringing on Rob Planter for the Normal Sports Opinions podcast show, and they're just going to have a fun time doing that. Rob Planter of the Playbook.
Yep. It's going to be a great time.
So the show will go on, and I don't think David and Rob have the audio issues, so Sports Opinions will definitely go on. So it should work out well there, but we are going to get going with the show now. We have a packed show. And since we are recording this on Monday night, the 14th of October, we could talk some football, David.
I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to like Monday night more and more, mainly because we get to talk football a little bit. I mean, I know Rob and Joe have the playbook, but they go down into other things and they have their records and their guesses on their teams that are going to win them. But we get to talk about some different things. So first off, the Jets finally won. If you guys listen to this, you know both my brother and I are Jets fans.
Yay.
They finally won. They beat the Cowboys. Now, my biggest question is, what does this say about the Jets and the Cowboys?
So first, I want to apologize to my beloved wife, who's been on the show before. She's a Cowboys fan. So us winning is delight of me, but not delight of her. So apologize to Julie.
Mm-hmm.
Second, all right. So first off, I'm being my seasoned Jets fan self. And while I enjoyed watching competent quarterback play in the first half, Sam Darnold looked great, moved the offense up and down the field. The defense has been playing well all season and showed it off. I was concerned more with the coaching in the second half, where it seemed that Jason Garrett made adjustments and Adam Gase did not. And it ended up almost costing us the football game. That is my concern in the Jets' takeaways, is that they came out strong. Sam Darnold looked good. The team was energized. The weapons were great. Robbie Anderson finally caught a deep ball for a touchdown. His connection with Jamison Crowder is good. It was exciting on that front. Watching Marcus May fly around on defense is fantastic. He's probably my favorite Jet right now. Sorry, President Mall. And that's my takeaway from the Jets is I want to see the adjustments. I want to see Adam Gase do some coaching now. Now that we see the Jets can play football, start coaching. Number two with the Cowboys, they should have beaten the Jets. They are the better football team. They had guys out on the line. They lost to Mari Cooper during the game, and we're still a 2-point conversion away from tying the game, controversial as it was, but they did have a touchdown taken away that shouldn't have been taken away earlier in that game. So the Cowboys are the better football team. And I'm going out there. I'm a Jets fan. You're a Jets fan. If they would have they haven't put together 60 minutes since week 3. And even then, since week 2, because I think week 3 they had to come back and win. So my concern with the Cowboys is if they could put together 60 minutes, they're a really good team, but they can't do it, and it's concerning me. So that's my takeaway from the game.
Okay, so number one for the Jets for me. I liked what I saw coming out, explosiveness. I loved seeing Sam out there. It feels good to have the feeling that you're going to have your quarterback for the future. He looked like it for most of the game. I understand what you're saying about the adjustments, no doubt, but I mean, there was one big mistake at in the red zone, basically at the goal line that Sam made. We could have put the game away there. So
I'm not putting it on Sam. I'm putting down a miscommunication between Sam and Crowder.
But it's a part of him. But anyway, But I mean, one bad thing, like that's a bad mistake. But otherwise, I mean, we played a damn good game against a pretty good Cowboys team. I think they were overhyped, but this Cowboys team came in, and I mean, I feel like they were more shocked. I feel like they didn't know what Sam was going to come out like. They didn't know what this offense was going to come out like. I mean, really, what did they have to study? The Bills game, and that Sam might have had mono symptoms during that time. So they really didn't know exactly what this offense was going to look like. They got torched for not knowing, and they had to come back. And luckily, our defense is pretty good. I think the Cowboys. I think they're going to be all right, but I also think that they're going to make the playoffs and they're going to end up losing again. I don't know. They don't seem to have that winning gene in them for some reason. Like they might be able to get past the divisional round, but I don't see them making it to the Super Bowl. And that's what a lot of people hype the Cowboys up for this year. The Jets, they have New England next week, Monday night game. If we could somehow pull it out against New England, I feel like we have a very good rest of schedule to get some wins, maybe try to sneak in because the AFC is not very good this year. Well, the AFC is very tight this year, I should say. But, yeah, those are my takeaways from the game. I think the Cowboys underperformed, didn't know exactly what they were looking at from Jets offense. And I think the Jets came out, played well, showed that they can play with teams, and showed what the Jets probably should have been this whole year if they didn't have their third-string QB in.
And in hindsight, the performance against the Bills doesn't look as bad, considering what we've seen from that Bills defense.
The Bills defense is incredible.
They fell apart in the second half in that first game, which is similar to what we saw in this game. And again, I put that on Adam Gase. I put that on the coaching staff.
Yeah.
That they can't do a 60-minute game. But the one positive before we move on is Sam Darnold did what you look for in great quarterbacks. As the momentum was building in the Cowboys' favor, he marched the Jets down and answered with points. It wasn't a touchdown, but he got points. And if he did not get that field goal, the Cowboys win that game.
Yeah, exactly. No, he marked. Yeah, he took him down. He didn't seem like he was pressured at all. He was very calm, and he made the plays he had to make. It looked good.
It did. So we're gonna slide on next game.
Yeah, next Texans versus Chiefs was a great game.
Oh my God.
Patty Mahomes is a little banged up, but still, he played very well. I mean, still Patty Mahomes, so he's on the field, he's playing. You got to still grade him for it. But, I mean, it was a really good game. I mean, I know you have potential AFC championship matchup here. I mean, it could be. We got to see what the Patriots do because I honestly still think we don't entirely know what this Patriots team is. But, I mean, the Chiefs dropping 2. The Texans have looked good multiple years, but they've also looked inconsistent. So there's a lot to go off of in the AFC, but I think that is definitely a possible AFC championship matchup, and I would love to see it happen.
I would love it. And my main takeaway is the Chiefs can't stop anybody, and the Texans can run the rock. The two Browns transplants of Duke Johnson Jr. and Carlos Hyde are getting the job done for the Texans. And when we came into the season, our talk was about the Texans was J.J. Watt, where's Clowney going, Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, and everyone forgot that Carlos Hyde was there. And Carlos Hyde was at one point the bright spot of the San Francisco 49ers when they were on their down years. He was amazing. As a running back, 1,000-yard back for that team. And it looks like he can recapture that. And as long as they can run the football, I think the Texans will open it up and are that one AFC team that can challenge the Patriots. What the Patriots are is the best defense in the league. They have the number 1 ranked defense, and they still have Tom Brady. That's what they are. And that's Belichick thrives when his defense is.
Believe me, their defense is very good, but they also have not faced any proven offenses yet. That's the main problem with this. They have not faced literally any proven offense.
But do the Patriots have to face anybody proven to prove to us that they can do it every year? When are we all going to stop hoping that they fail?
It's not hoping that they fail. It's looking at them like every other team. That's the thing. I mean, listen. But listen, but you have to. That's the thing. If you look at them like a giant, you're going to play them like they're a giant. You have to look at them like they're every other team. What do you think the Patriots do with every other team they verse? They don't look at them like they're puny or ants. They look at them like a good team. Bill Belichick said the Redskins were a well-coached team when Jay Gruden was on his way out, and they went in and kicked their ass because he looks at them like a football team. If you want to be as good as them, you have to have somewhere near the same mental preparation that they do. So that's the thing.
The Chiefs, in my eyes, are in a little bit of trouble. Patty Mahomes is banged up, but it's also shown that he's not as comfortable in the pocket as everyone thought he was.
No, he needs to be able to move.
He needs to be able to move, and he's a little banged up. And when you also have some speed edge rushers and guys that can cover, he's in trouble. Tyreek Hill was awesome, scored 2 touchdowns. He's back to his old self. They really miss Kareem Hunt, and Shady McCoy and Damian Williams are not it. They do not make a Kareem Hunt.
No.
So the Chiefs could be in a little bit of trouble. Andy Reid is a great offensive coach, but you saw it yesterday. He could not coach his way out of that game. And he had some good plays. He had some good drives. Pat Mahomes is great, but he was outdueled. He was outdueled by Deshaun Watson.
We'll touch on what I think the Chiefs would need later on in this specific set of things about the NFL. But next, we're going to move on to the Tank Bowl, the Terror Bowl, as you named it here. The Redskins versus the Dolphins happened. The Redskins, did they really win the game? I don't know. We'll see when draft comes around. But yeah, the Redskins ended up winning the game off of a horrible 2-point attempt off from the Dolphins. And I mean, what else can you say? These teams are in a bad way right now. Honestly, the Redskins might be in a worse position than the Dolphins, even though the Dolphins had to bench Josh Rosen. But I don't know. They're both looking at maybe 1 and 2, 2 and 3. It depends on what the Bengals do. But in the draft, I know everyone's saying tank for Tua. I hope they don't take him. It's really nothing against Tua. It's just if you can name me an Alabama QB that has legitimately worked at his NFL quarterback, I would thank you for it. But I would say, okay, where's the next one if you could do it? Because there's not many.
No, there isn't. And I agree with your sentiment there. But the one thing I do have to say is the Redskins have one big bright spot, and that's McLaurin. I don't know his first name.
Scary Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin. And my God, he is a burner of Tyreek Hill capability, and that's not going out on a reach. He is a bright spot. He makes Case Keenum look competent, and that is something for the Redskins fans to take hold of. And for the Dolphins, Fitzmagic, baby. He almost did it. That beard, he doesn't need a chin strap. The beard just attaches itself to the helmet and holds it there. That beard is still magical.
Okay, listen. I don't want to give the Dolphins teams any hints because, rival. But if I'm the Dolphins, I don't want Fitzmagic to happen because then you're probably going to be pressured to give him a contract extension. You're going to give him money, and then he's going to be awful. And then you're going to waste a year. It's what always happens. It's a cycle. Don't fall into it. We did. So.
Fear the beard.
All right. Last part of this, and what I want to touch on with the Chiefs. You're asking in this itinerary, are the 49ers the real deal? I 100% believe so. They are the real deal. And here's the reason why. They run the damn ball. They run the damn ball. They play good defense, and Jimmy Garoppolo is a good QB. He's not bad. He's not great. He's definitely overhyped, but he's good. He can make the plays. And they run by committee. It's not just Breda. It's a lot of different people. It's Tevin Coleman. They had Mostert a lot running. I think it was Harris or something. They had a third running back as well before Tevin Coleman was ready to go. But they're able to move the ball running the ball. When you can run the ball, you set up so much more, and that is what the Chiefs are missing. Like you said, they're missing a Kareem Hunt. If you can move the ball on the ground, everything opens up. Everything opens up, and especially when you have a good defense like they do, they're the real deal, man. They really are.
I definitely think they can be, and it's interesting. Richard Sherman goes there, and that secondary is fantastic. I know I like to knock him because he's a glorified safety, but he does something for defensive backcourts. He's a leader, and I think that goes a long way. In terms of Jimmy G, I refuse to call him overhyped. The guy was out all year. He's coming back. He's still getting his bearings, and if we notice, he's playing better and better every single week. This past week, I think he had 248. I think he threw for a score or two. Decent percentage. He's getting better. I refuse to call him overhyped. I still think Jimmy G can be one of the best quarterbacks in the game.
He possibly can, but I mean, he was hyped to be literally the next Tom Brady, the next Messiah of the game.
And I could see him getting there. I could definitely see him getting there.
He's going to have to get there first. He's been a little bit too turnover heavy recently.
Yes.
In the start of this, but like I said, they go back to old time football, which a lot of people may not like to see, but they put up big points because they're able to run the ball and run a play action. They make
I scratched my head. Who's their offensive coordinator? Kyle Shanahan. Who was the Jets offensive coordinator when they had the best running game in the NFL for like 5 years straight?
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah. And I mean, look at them. They destroyed the Rams.
And
they took the Rams to town.
And Jets fans ran Kyle Shanahan out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Are we kicking ourselves now? Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. All right. But enough with the NFL. In fact, the NFL are probably very happy that this next topic happened because they're not in the limelight. They're not in the limelight anymore because the NBA, as probably everyone knows by now, is having a big problem with China.
Mm-hmm.
They have a China problem. So Daryl Morey, the GM of the Houston Rockets, he literally tweeted out, "I stand with the Hong Kong protesters."
And it was a poster too. It wasn't even him saying it was a poster that he tweeted out too.
Exactly. He tweeted it out, and it set off this whole story. That one tweet set off this whole story, and now China is taking down posters, threatening to not air games, threatening to not have games even happen. I don't even know. I didn't think Nets and Lakers are going to happen over there, but
they both happened, but neither of them aired.
Yeah, that's true. But China reacted the way China reacts, and the NBA is really bending the knee. Daryl Morey to take his tweet off. The Houston Rockets, everyone on the Houston Rockets, literally everyone from top to bottom is like, no. We love China. Don't worry, we love them. They're not standing by their man. And I mean, they're not standing by their man, and a lot of people see it as not standing by their country. I've heard of a bunch, but it is a tough go for the NBA right now, and it does not look good when you bend the knee to China.
No, it doesn't. And Daryl Morey, he put up the tweet, he took it down, and he apologized. So, did you even mean it? Honestly, did you even mean it? First off, to Daryl Morey. Second, I have a lot of opinions on this, starting off with Adam Silver and his neutral take on everything, saying they support the expression, but we're good with China. There is nothing. Let me give Adam Silver and the NBA a hint here. China is bad. They are a communist dictatorship. They kill anybody. They censor everything. You want to know why the NBA had 500 million views in China? Because they had to. It was the only thing on TV. They make them do what they want. We're nice with China. They're nice with China because they sell us things and they are big producers. They are a gigantic North Korea. They really are. They are not good. And to the spineless, absolutely spineless head coaches, whether they're good or not, they are spineless. Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich, absolute spineless human beings, both of you. They are super quick to criticize about Kaepernick, to criticize President Trump, talk about anything here, which they sound very misinformed on constantly. But when it comes to a country that has a long litany of murder, genocide, and let's just now, maybe they can listen to this and get educated. They have Muslim concentration camps where they are converting them or killing them, gay concentration camps doing the same thing. And, they're both big supporters of LGBTQ. which we are too here. So we want them to stop doing that. They censor, they kill people constantly if they don't agree with them. So let me just, no comment. I need to learn more. I thought they were smart guys. I thought they were the smartest guys in the room whenever they walked in. They just sound like a bunch of kowtowing idiots. Sorry. And I don't care if I eventually get big and neither of those guys ever want to talk to me, if we eventually grow here, good. I don't want to talk to you either. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
The weirdest thing about this to me, and I think it's very obvious why the NBA why Silver's taking a neutral stance and why people either aren't saying anything or saying that they absolutely love China and everything that they stand for, is because it's obviously because of the money that they get off of it. But my main thing is, like, China already threw their temper tantrum. Like, off of a single tweet, they already threw their temper tantrum. They already took down the posters. They already didn't air the games and everything. Like, you know how soft you look bending the knee at that point? Like, listen, I get it. It's a ton of money and a ton of viewership. But, I mean, you're still spreading out into Europe all over the place. And you just look – you look like it's not even that you're just bending the knee to them. No, but you're crawling back to them. Like, you went full on crawl back to China after they threw their big old temper tantrum like they always do when someone does something they don't like. And you said, no, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. And you just crawled back and you're like, don't worry. I'll put the collar back on. I'll put it back on. It'll be all right. That's what you're doing. That is exactly what you're doing, especially with your neutral position. Usually I'm one that's like, all right, you can take a neutral position on something for a little bit, get your bearings straight. But Adam Silver, you can't say you support the speech of the man and then have him take the tweet down and apologize for it. That's not supporting his speech. That's you literally took his speech down. I know damn well he was told to apologize for it. And you know damn well that everyone else is told, okay, you need to say nice things about China.
And Dave, bottom line, you can't support free speech and then say you like China.
That's true.
They don't walk hand in hand. They don't.
That's true. But it's annoying to see. That's the thing. Like, I'm still going to watch the NBA because I love the product and I love the sport. And
our Nets are finally going to be good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like I said, I love the product. I love the sport. But it's just really annoying watching this happen.
And a quick history lesson, really quick, for people that don't know what's going on. Hong Kong was a colonized country by Britain. It was eventually basically sold to China under the pretense that Hong Kong will maintain its own sovereignty within a country. So it's basically two countries where one has ownership over it, but Hong Kong has been allowed to have their own government, everything on their own. Mm-hmm. They just fall under the Chinese banner. Kind of like the playbook and everything falls under the sports opinions banner, but they have their own, they can do what they want. So what's been going on is not only is China trying to put in all of their concentration camp type of crap with them and now breaking into their sovereignty, they're doing all their chip nonsense where they're chipping their own people so they can monitor them for social scores and all this other 1984 type stuff. And Hong Kong wants to break away and they want their sovereignty. And you would think us as a country would support another country trying to break away from a tyrannical regime for their own sovereignty.
Yeah, it's legitimately quite a sight. They're singing our national anthem consistently. They're doing all these types of things. It's actually crazy to look at the things that are going on.
If you can get behind Colin Kaepernick's free speech and his purpose, you should be able to no-brainer support Hong Kong and their purpose.
Yeah.
So, are you done ranting about that? Because I'm ready to be angry on something.
I'm good. No, you go ahead. Go be angry about the next topic. I know you need to get this off your chest.
This one. Clayton Kershaw. Now, that name usually, if you're a baseball fan, it rings great pitcher, right? Future Hall of Famer. After this playoffs, now, mind you, this isn't the only time where this man has become a sheep. He has proven to me that I don't care what his regular season numbers are. I don't care what his strikeouts career, anything his wins for career is. He is not great. He is not a Hall of Famer. Clayton Kershaw is awful. And I know people are going to go, oh, the Dodgers aren't there without Clayton Kershaw. And I don't care. He was asked to come in relief to win a game, which great starting pitchers, Madison Bumgarner, Jason Verlander. Those are two recent greats. They come in, they do their job, they take care of business, they go to championship games. Clayton Kershaw comes in and just gives up dingers. It is embarrassing to see that this man who has been considered the greatest pitcher of our generation, basically, fold so terribly, and Dodgers fans have been cost a chance to see titles and win titles over and over and over because of this guy. Clayton Kershaw does not deserve a seat in the Hall of Fame. End of rant.
Well, I mean, I did compare it to other sports. It's that killer mentality that a lot of people like to talk about. I mean, LeBron gets a lot of that flack that he doesn't have the killer mentality, that he doesn't finish. Peyton had a lot of that problem. Peyton Manning had a lot of that problem in the NFL, where he's a regular season genius, and all of a sudden the postseason he wasn't great. Like, he could have had more than 2 Super Bowl. So I mean, it happens with people that. There's people that are great in the regular season. I don't want to say LeBron's great in the regular season and not in the postseason. That's false. I'm just saying that people say he doesn't have a killer mentality. But I didn't want to get that mixed up. but it happens. There are people that are great in the regular season, but they can't get it done in the postseason. And it's just that killer mentality. It's the ability to settle down and get it done. And especially when, I mean, once the pitcher's up there on the mound, it's a one-on-one game between the pitcher and the batter until that ball gets hit into the field. So, and Kershaw is the greatest in the regular season doing it, but when it comes to the postseason, he's time and time again just failing at it.
And I like that you brought up that it is a individual, because I thought about the Peyton Manning comparisons. I'm never going to compare him to LeBron because I get it with the killer instinct thing, but LeBron just gets it done. He is the greatest player of our generation. Sorry, Kobe, but it is LeBron.
I mean, at least he made it to the finals 9 times in a row. So
yeah. LeBron's unbelievable, and Peyton got it done. He did have that little bit, but the differences with those two is they are literally team sports where you rely on each other.
Yes.
LeBron can't do it all on his own. He needs the 4 other guys to at least do something, which we saw in Cleveland. They just have to do something for him to win. And Peyton needs 10 other guys plus a defensive special teams to work together. The difference with Kershaw, like you said, it's pitcher versus batter. And it's not like he's giving up these trickles or the fielders are messing up. No, he gets hit hard.
It's dingers. It's literal dingers.
It's dingers. It's doubles. It's easy singles. It's not like it looks like he's never thrown a pitch at a big league level once the postseason hits. And I'm sorry. You cannot be considered an elite athlete if you don't buck up in these moments. If you aren't locked in and focused, I know, part of me feels bad for the guy, but then part of me doesn't, because if you've done it this many times, you're just meant to never be great. And he's not. To me, I don't care what he's done in the regular season. The guy's not great.
I mean, yeah, and it's unfortunate. The thing is, it's unfortunate for us and for him. It's unfortunate for him because it's got to weigh on the man. It's definitely got to weigh on the man. Like, what the hell is wrong with me when it comes to this? And it's unfortunate for us because we're not seeing the same greatness that he's been showing in the regular season. Like, as much as we might hate our teams losing and everything, it is always, you could always look back and say, wow, that guy was great and I was able to watch him play. So it's unfortunate for both parties involved here.
And the worst part is this soft biscuit over here named Clayton Kershaw is going to get compared to guys like Dan Marino and Charles Barkley and guys that never got it done. Where the difference is they were actually great. And like I said, the team aspect destroyed them. Clayton Kershaw has cost his team. Therein lies the difference. The other guys have never cost their team chances to wins or championships. He has legitimately cost his team over and over and over year after year. So he's going to get into Canton, but God, he shouldn't get in. And I'm done with him. I'm done with him. We're going to move on to some 2 people that are actually great and understand pressure and don't fold underneath it. First off, talking about a sport that does not get enough love.
Well, both of these
And
don't get enough love.
both of these don't. I've at least talked about the second one, but this first one never does. Simone Biles needs to be up there with the Usain Bolts, with the Tiger Woods now, with the Venus Williams, Serena Williams,
Michael Phelps.
Michael Jordan. She has become the most decorated gymnast, Olympic and world champions ever.
Mm-hmm.
I think she got 25 medals now in worlds, 5 all-around titles. Find me, number one, a more difficult sport than gymnastics. I'll wait, because people compare all this stuff. If you watch gymnastics, we might not think it's difficult because, God, they all make it look so easy. And then when they mess up, we laugh at them. But they're like 20 feet in the air doing flips, literal 3 flips. Their core strength and their strength in general is unbelievable. And to go out and outclass the Russians, the Chinese, and all these other unbelievable athletes time and time again, Simone Biles should win the ESPY for greatest female athlete of the year and possibly one of the greatest of all time. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. How old is Simone Biles?
She's maybe 26, 27. It's not even like she's old.
Yeah, exactly. She's not old. So, and you said you brought up the core strength and everything with gymnastics, but it's not even just the core strength. The control of your body, the balance out of strength and control of your body in gymnastics has to be pristine in order for you to pull off the things that you're doing. And Simone Biles did it day in and day out for all these medals. So when someone gets as decorated as that and as good and completely overachieving not even overachieving, achieving everything that she can, you got to look at her as one of the best athletes to ever represent the U.S. and ever be in gymnastics for her sport.
Without a doubt. And the thing on top of it, too, is Americans have a really proud tradition in gymnastics, especially on the female side.
Yes.
The amazing team of 96, when I think you were one, they did some great things there where I think it's the old coach going, shake it off. And the girl literally with a broken ankle flapping in the wind completes a flip off the horse to win it, which one of the greatest scenes in athletics of all time. And then you have women like Nastia Lukin and so many other amazing athletes. For her to sit on top is just unbelievable. So Simone Biles, big kudos to you. You are the greatest gymnast of all time. And if you are not up there, I will continue to put your name now when I have conversations about the greatest athletes ever. You will be there forever. Because unlike a lot of other sports where it's tough to compare male to female athletes, gymnastics is one of them where it's pretty easy. Yes, they do some different things. The women don't do the rings and they don't do the pommel horse, but also the men don't do uneven bars and they don't do balance beam. Mm-hmm. So there are certain different techniques that the men and women do, which makes it comparable. So Simone Biles, congratulations to you. And another big congratulations is up in my favorite sport, the sport that I competed in, well, one of my favorites, running. The marathon is something that people look at as a test and now has become such a big fad of completing a marathon is something that a lot of people do now, and it's awesome. I'm happy that everyone does it. One of the hardest barriers to break was the 2-hour marathon mark. It seemed unachievable. I think the closest was like 2:02 at this point. And 2 minutes is forever in running. Mm-hmm. There was a group of people that decided that they wanted to get this one unbelievably elite athlete, Eliud Kipchoge, across the line in under 2 hours. So they set up a whole entire 26.2 mile course. They had rabbits. And goddamn, he did it. He ran 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 40 seconds, shattering the 2-hour mark. But unfortunately, because it's not a sanctioned race, and he used a whole bunch of rabbits, he wasn't competing, it's not considered a world record. The fact that the man was able to push his body under 2 hours and run basically 430 miles the whole way, it's considered a world record to me, David. I don't care what they say.
I mean, I think it's all right to not consider a world record, but it should always be remembered because it is an unbelievable achievement. It is still something that should be celebrated, even though he used rabbits throughout, because even using rabbits, you need to be in a ridiculous condition and extremely good in order to be able to even think about pulling this off. So I feel like it's fine not being a world record, whatever. It wasn't a sanctioned race. He used the rabbits. It's not by himself. It's whatever. But it should be remembered. It should be celebrated. That's the whole thing.
It definitely should. And for me, the one thing about it is running is similar to swimming in certain ways and biking, and you got to go out and do it. You can have all the rabbits you want. You can have all the perfect conditions. You can have a flat course, but you still have to go out and do it. And throughout 26.2 miles, I've never ran that. I've been a runner my whole life. I've never ran that distance. But I've done 10-mile runs. And just the thoughts that go through your head just within 10 miles. You want to quit at least 6 times. You're curious why you're still running. I can't imagine what's going through his head when all the lactic acids are building up. I've heard the big point of the block going through is like mile 16 to 20. Your legs just feel like bricks. 4:30 is my PR in the mile. The man was running my personal best for 26 miles.
That's disgusting.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And to put it in reference, go out and try and run. Anyone listening, go out and try and run a 6-minute mile tomorrow on a track.
Oh boy.
See if you could do that. See if you could do that. I promise you, most of you can't. and just imagine that he's now running a minute and a half faster, 26 miles of that.
Yeah, he's keeping
Just keeping it. That's the great achievement that this man did. So it's a world record to me. I don't care what anyone says. He still has to go out and do it. So good job, world record. Don't care what anyone else says.
I mean that's fair. Like I said, I'm not entirely. The world record itself doesn't matter to me. The fact that it happened is what matters to me. But it's fair. Listen, what you're saying is fair as well. But we're gonna move on from 2 great athletes that we all celebrate, and we all should celebrate at least, and we're all gonna look at in the future and say, wow, those are really good people. And we're going to now we're going to move on to the next person, our mascot.
Which I think we have to confess is probably the reason why we didn't have the show last week, because he didn't pop up at all.
We could have found something. That 100%. But our mascot, AB, seems like he wants to be back on the field after retiring. Okay, now listen. I understand. It sounds very stupid. The fact that he went out on this whole rant, threw people under the bus, and retired, saying that people still owe him his money. But it is not crazy for someone to retire and come back. It is crazy for someone to talk all the ish in the world, retire, and then try to come back. But he's still a great talent, and you never know what could happen, man. The AP Chronicles could be continuing for a long time now.
And one of my favorite ways he tried to come back is via a tweet.
Yeah.
Is always the way. He tweeted, someone said something to him, and he tweeted, "Hey Patriots, you're still paying me. Might as well let me come earn it." Like, yeah, that is the most AB way to try and come out of retirement.
See, but the thing is, like you say, like in a tweet, and that's the way he does it. But we just talked about the fact that a tweet literally sent the whole firestorm between the NBA and China. So obviously, tweets mean something. Like these are big things apparently. So. You never know what's going to happen with this man. And a part of me is like, you know what, he should let's bring him back on the field because it's entertaining as all hell. But please don't put him in a Patriots uniform. That I don't want. But I don't know, man. He's a form of entertainment, 100%. And I mean, you don't have to like it. That's fine. There's heels for a reason. He's a great heel.
Bold prediction right here. If the Jets somehow beat the Patriots, AB is back in a Patriots uniform.
That would be the funniest thing in the world, but also the most terrifying thing in the world.
Oh, man. All right. With that, we end this episode of Cuesta Dos. David, fun as always, brother.
Yeah. I'll see everyone for Cuesta Uno next week. I may have a better mic next week, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully he does. And again, I'm Alex Cuesta. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at @_Cuesta30. Find David on Twitter at dcuesta308. Instagram Cuesta Cola or Questanthemum, one of those. I think it's
Cuesta
one of those.
Cola. I actually remember
Cuesta
that.
Cola.
Yeah.
You actually remember that. Look at you.
Yeah.
Find Sports Opinions on Twitter at SportsOpinion30, Instagram Sports Opinions 30. Go search for us on Facebook. Visit that. And wherever you're listening to this, go give it a good review. Give it a rating and share this out. Share this with the world so everyone can hear me yelling at China, yelling at Clayton Kershaw, and we can get banned in both California and China. And
Hey, man,
awesome.
it wasn't all rants. We heaped praise on Simone Biles, and I can't say his name, but we heaped praise on the both of them.
That's awesome. All right. Anyway, with that, that's the end of this episode. So long, everybody.